and welcome to our CJA webinar on growing stronger online, the jewelry of the e-commerce era. While everyone is settling in and still logging, I'm just going to thank you all for attending our webinar today. And for everyone to know, this is going to be recorded, and we will be sending the recording after that to everyone who's in attendance. We thank you for your time. My name is Beatrice Thurtevant, and I'm the Managing Director of the Canadian Jewelers Association. And the CJ is the voice of the Canadian jewelry and watch industry, representing a membership consisting of retailers, suppliers, designers, and wholesalers across Canada. And we're here to provide leadership in ethics, education, communication, and crime prevention programs. We ask everyone today to keep an open, positive, and receptive atmosphere throughout, and please stay muted for the entire time. And we kindly ask that if you have questions, that you ask them politely and respectfully in the QA box at the bottom. My guest today is Igor Nusinovich. Hi, Igor. How are you?
Hi, great. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Igor is the CEO of Valigara online jewelry manager and an international jewelry commerce expert. He's a leading worldwide expert in jewelry and e-commerce and online marketing. Igor has over 15 years of experience in e-commerce, and he's also a former manager at eBay. He's an advisor to the Israeli Export Institute and leading jewelry brands. And a few words about Valigara. Valigara empowers jewelry and diamond businesses in the e-commerce era, and we believe this is such a hot topic these days. E-commerce. They enable leading jewelers, brands, and e-commerce companies to grow their online jewelry businesses with Valigara's all-in-one software solution. And Valigara Online Jewelry Manager platform manages all aspects of your successful online business. It lets you manage your product portfolio and optimizes your online presence across your website and leading marketplaces such as Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and many others. Valigara helps you increase sales and save significant time of money. And don't we need that all today? It simplifies inventory and orders management, online marketing, purchasing, and fulfillment, automating the daily operations in selling jewelry and diamonds online. And Valigara integrates very well with major e-commerce marketing and jewelry platforms. So with all that in mind, Igor, we're excited to have you today. And thank you for bringing to Canada your expertise in e-commerce. And we have a lot of members and non-members who are of CJ who can't wait to hear what you have to tell us about e-commerce. So all yours, Igor. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. Thank you. So first of all, before we dive deep into my world of e-commerce, first of all, I want to thank the people who came today to this webinar, especially because we know that we are in different countries, and different countries are in different situations from the COVID point of view. So we are in a very strange situation, seeing people here in the streets wearing no masks, which is absolutely absurd, to see this in the streets. Simply because it becomes too hot now in Israel, and one cannot wear masks in the streets, so wear without masks. So I want just, to take this 1 minute before we dive into this e-commerce. And I know that the situation we spoke yesterday, and I understand the situation is quite different in Canada. And I especially appreciate the people who are, I remember myself almost a year ago sitting in this situation and what is happening. What will be the world after? So it's amazing to see this, glimpse of the world after on one side. And I especially appreciate these people who came today with this, most, pressing situation of being in the middle of the Corona situation there in Canada and making this step. I will say maybe 20 times during my presentation that there is no magic in doing e-commerce, and the most magic is to take the steps, like coming to this this presentation today, as Jeff Bezos once said, I'm reading a book for one idea. So just for one idea, coming to this one idea, and maybe this small step to go into e-commerce. So this is what makes the difference between doing things and not doing things, and nothing magical here. Okay, so I wanted to speak today very generally on one side. On the other side, I will dive into all the steps of what it takes going e-commerce, and I believe it will be also interesting for the people who are online already. So I will share my screen, my presentation now, and I will dive into it. Of course, feel free to collect all the questions, and if something comes from the people, I love to keep it very, very interactive. So
Igor, while you're settling in with that, I will ask everyone to, if you do have questions, you can start at any time when you're comfortable, just typing them up, and we will get to them as we go, depending on how they fit on the presentation, if not all of them at the end. So absolutely, we want to make it very engaging, and we want to make it welcoming, and we want to make sure that, as Igor said, we appreciate you giving us your time. We want to make sure that it's useful and you take knowledge with you after you go.
Okay, thank you. So what we do in Valigara for the last 10 years, and it's been a long 10 years, we help jewelry businesses be online. It might sound strange, but it's not just, doing online sales, but a lot of preparation goes along before you start being on your website or eBay or Amazon or wherever you are. So I'll try to describe what it means to start your jewelry, to start and to improve your online business. It's not only knowing this, PPC, paid advertisement, or SEO, all the optimization stuff that everybody speaks. It's not just the e-commerce. What very often people ask us, why you guys concentrate only on jewelry e-commerce, jewelry and diamonds? Because exactly as selling, when you go to the grocery store, it's very different from when you go to a furniture store. So selling a chair, a laptop, and jewelry is very different. So I will try to explain the e-commerce point of view from the point of view of jeweler. Okay, so let's first of all, let's take a look what is waiting for us here. So lately, as Odette loves to say, my colleague Odette loves to say, the year when e-commerce became commerce. Obviously, because of the COVID, for us as e-commerce people, it was a very interesting year. And everybody says, wow, this is very interesting. This is so simple for you. No, it's not that simple, because the whole e-commerce is being reset 20 years ago. Why? Because many people who had no idea what e-commerce is and were very far from e-commerce, they start to implement e-commerce in their businesses. And it's very different. It's very challenging for them, both from the buyer's point of view and also from the seller's point of view. So we have many retail companies, many offline sellers that now go to e-commerce. So as MasterCard say, 46% growth of jewelry e-commerce on holiday sales, which is amazing. The normal pace would be about 15-20%, and we're on 46. So basically, we are being fast forward about 10 years forward from the e-commerce expectation, e-commerce point of view. So it's good, and it's bad because the people who were not ready, they are still not ready, and they didn't have this time to prepare. So when we go e-commerce today, we already know that it's not the tomorrow, it's today. And we have a very interesting mistakes and the challenges here. It's not something you can try. First of all, before we dive, e-commerce is not something to try. It's a strategic move. So when people come to Valigara and say, hi, I'm just starting my e-commerce, and how quick should I see the results? 1 month, 3 months? And of course, it's obvious that you will see some results in few months. But the idea is, when we recommend, think about the second sales season. What does it mean? Jewelry is a seasonable product. We know that it's Christmas, it's Valentine's Day, it's Mother's Day, so jewelry e-commerce. And then it's a strategic move, and to see the results, you always think about the second sales season, not the first one when you only establish your processes, but the really your e-commerce get established when you figure out the logistic, the customer service, all this part. It's the second year. So not the second year, the second season. So it's a strategic move. And when people speak about us, it's not, I'm not technological, I'm not ready for that. We always say it's not one-man show. Jewelry e-commerce, it's a team move. It's something that even if you're super duper educated in e-commerce and a specialist in PPC, specialist in websites or whatever it is, it's always about creating the right team. Now, next thing that I also want to speak to the people that are currently listening to us, it's not something new. It's something that should work as an extension of the existing business. So the idea is that you already have a lot of skills that you can apply to your e-commerce. So this is the very important understanding, because it means that don't try to build something new. See how your business integrates in e-commerce, and it takes time. Now, e-commerce is not the same for everyone. It's also very important. You'll see that the small mom and pop shop will be completely different from the retailer, and will be very different from the manufacturer. So people always think that e-commerce is about B2C, direct to customer. No, if you work in a wholesale mode, we have amazing cases when people who were working only in wholesale mode lately with Valigara established their websites and completely moved from the jewelry shows, traveling from one show to another. They completely moved into doing their businesses through e-commerce. So it's completely different e-commerce from creating a website and selling it to direct to consumer. So what's actually the e-commerce, how it goes from the simple to more extensive. It goes from single channel through multi-channel, cross channel. What it means, the single channel means I build a website, beautiful, or I build an eBay store, beautiful, I build a Facebook shop, beautiful. Now it goes through multi-channel. Multi-channel means I build an eBay shop, and then I have my Amazon and Etsy. Now, what's the difference between multi and cross-channel? Cross-channel means on the multi-channel, one store has no idea that there is another store. Like, for example, my eBay has no idea, my eBay buyers have no idea that I also have my Etsy store. Now, on the cross-channel, beautiful example is I have my Facebook or Instagram, and I have my website. So these 2 points of presence start to work together. Now, on the downside, of course, when I want to go from single channel to cross channel, today you will almost find no single channel operation. Why? Because one channel should support another channel. So if I have an Etsy channel and eBay, and I have Facebook, and I have my email marketing, and I have my website, I want to create some synergy when one channel will support another one. So this is on the downside. It's more to learn. It's probably requires more time, but this is what you will currently, when you establish your e-commerce, you will find that you will be both on the website, on external marketplaces, and on social channels, and with your email marketing, and so on and so on. So this is conceptually the development. So maybe 20 years ago it was about single channel, but then it switched to multi-channel when people were operating 20 stores on eBay, Etsy, Amazon, Sears, Walmart, Bonanza, and all this stuff. And today we see very precisely that the cross-channel is developing, because it's more organic, it's more natural that we find the person on one channel, for example, on our Facebook page, and then we take the person into the website or wherever we want it to be. So this is very important understanding for the jewelers to have.
Igor, I have a question for you. What
Sure.
online channel is the simplest one to begin with, to
Oh,
start with, in your
oh,
perspective?
I will. Yes, of course. I will speak about it more
Okay.
precisely. But yeah. So what? So uh, the most simplest is not always the best one. But the idea is that it's always there is no one e-commerce for all, and it depends on what skills we have. So if I am a wholesaler, maybe I will establish a very, very simple website where all I will have is my catalog, my online catalog. So I can pick up a phone to my buyer to a shop somewhere in a different country or in a different city, and I will say, "Hi, take a look at my latest collection." All I need in this case is this simple website. Now, on the other side, if I am good with socializing, especially for designer jewelry, we see, or unique jewelry, we see that the social channels like Instagram can be amazing, because all we need is this one image of this very special necklace or pendant or whatever it is, or a ring on my finger, just to make the person to reach the potential buyer to reach out to me. So again, no same for all. But if we think about it, the online marketplaces, they do a lot of work to make our life much easier. So what are the skills that we need? When we speak about e-commerce, we can summarize all these long formulas and thinking into one word. It's traffic. What means traffic? How do I make all these potential buyers come to my store? So I can build the best website with the best technology. If I don't have the traffic, it's not worth nothing. So marketplaces, they do a lot of work to bring this traffic. Amazon basically covers more than 50%, or maybe almost 50, because now Walmart is growing. So Amazon takes 50% of all the e-commerce in North America, which means all the rest of the channels and all the rest of the websites together compete on the 50%. So 50% of the traffic is on Amazon. It doesn't mean that it's the easiest, but it means that from bringing the traffic, bringing the potential buyers to my store, this is the most easiest way to do. Amazon, eBay, or Etsy. I will dive into it a little bit, how to select the marketplace, the right marketplace for you. But probably the marketplace will be much easier to establish. Unlike, for example, the website. On the website, you have to establish, the technology, build the website, and then promote the website, which will take much more time. Okay, so this is about the easiest. So what is, and here, what we think about is not always the easiest, but what is most effective. And the idea, there are 3 steps that we define in this e-commerce. The first one is the push. We spoke, everything is about traffic, about where the buyers are. So I want to push myself into the places which have the traffic. So for example, Amazon has about 50% of the traffic, Walmart is about 9%, eBay about 6%, Etsy about 4%. The rest of the website together compete on the rest. So the external marketplaces, these are the places that allow us to acquire the clients. Now, on the downside, they're anti-branding. They do not allow us to keep our clients with us, because what Amazon wants to see and eBay and Etsy wants to see, they want our buyers to be not our buyers, but Amazon buyers, eBay buyers, Etsy buyers. So it's, we say, full dozen neutral. You work for eBay and Amazon and Etsy. So on the push level, you first of all go to external marketplaces to get this new blood. Now, the next step, what you want to do, you want to get engaged with these clients. You want to use the social marketing, the email marketing, just to stay engaged with these clients, to be in touch with the clients. They don't need the jewelry every day, but what we see on the long term, after 3-5 years, this is where your social and email marketing becomes the 80%, 90% of your traffic. 90% of people should be the repeating buyers. So this is where you build trust, brand awareness of your build and of your brand, and then this is where you prepare the next sale. And only after that, only on the third step, you pull the clients into your website or into your own place where you're basically you make the most of money because there is no competition. It supports your brand. It works on the long term, and it also supports external channels. But let's leave it aside. The idea is my own website is the place where I have the best presence of my jewelry. I can create custom flow how I sell to my client. For example, if it's a diamond jewelry, basically all you need is a contact us form. Because when my potential buyer wants to buy a ring, he will ask in average eight questions only. So this means he will not just go into the product page. He will not click the buy now, go to cart, leave the credit card, and he will not do it. No, all he wants to do is to find the right product and then contact me as a seller to make sure that this is the right product and it will be customized for him. Now, on the fashion jewelry, it's completely different. There, naturally, you need to have the best automation so that next, buy, add to cart, and the buyer buys. So your own website is the best place to sell. The only problem is how you bring your people inside. So, so this is the effective client acquisition as we see this. First, you go and you push yourself into places that have the traffic, then you stay connected with clients, and then you pull them into your website. This is more or less the flow. Now, on the push, we already spoke about it. It's very, very challenging sometimes to identify the right marketplace, but this is where you go to the marketplace, you find what is the most effective place for you to be. Because if you're a big brand, you want to be in Big Brothers, let's say on Amazon and on eBay or on Walmart or Sears. If you're more niche or more custom-made jewelry, then you want to be on more niche marketplaces like Etsy or Live Auctioneers or 11 Deeps, Katawiki, the more where the buyers, they have more idea what they're buying. Because on larger marketplace, our potential buyers, they have less understanding in jewelry, they're less engaged, they're less into specific or unique designs. They just need to buy the perfect gift for the Christmas, for the birthday, and so on. Unlike more dedicated marketplaces like Etsy is, for example, 25% is about jewelry. So, and smaller ones like Katawiki and Live Auctioneers and so on. So this is the first step. We identify, we profile our business. I'll try to go into it a little bit, how we profile ourselves, and we get into the right marketplace. Now, the good thing here is that it's quite immediate. Why? Because all these marketplaces, they live from the fees. So the moment that the new seller comes in, they want to share, to dedicate some traffic to this new seller. They give it the opportunity, despite the fact that you're new, maybe you're inexperienced, but they are ready to take the risk. So they take some traffic and dedicate it to you. Unlike Google, for example, when you have your website and you have websites like Blue Nile or James Allen or the big brothers there, he has no reason to risk himself by pointing the buyers to less experienced sellers. So because of this, on this websites, on the external websites, marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, Etsy, it's much more quicker that you can see, you can test your products, you can test your offering. Now, and they have a lot of traffic. As we say, it's anti-branding, it's very high competition, and there are also fees that you're paying, and you are dependent because one day the policies change and it's not that nice. So the second step, I just want to go through it quickly, is the connect step, where we want to connect. What it means, it's email marketing, it's Facebook, it's LinkedIn, it's Twitter. It depends on your business. You'll almost never see a company that uses all the social channels everything. It's simply impossible. So depending on if you're on B2B or if you're in the B2C, wholesale or retail, you'll use different groups. Now, again, e-commerce is not only about B2C. We see a lot of people working with LinkedIn, finding new distributors, using catalogs, online catalogs. For example, in Valigara, it's a very popular feature. We never thought about it. Working with different catalogs to simply present it to potential distributors. So it's B2B. There are very strong groups also on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Etsy. Etsy is has very good viral effect on the groups. So this is the step where you switch from the short term into the long term strategy. So first of all, it's no rocket science. There is a simple rule of three posts on Facebook, 3 posts on LinkedIn that you do in a week. It's something that you can do yourself, and it does not require a huge budget. So this is a very important point, that you don't have to allocate a huge budgets to go into the social channels and into the email marketing. Another thing is that on email marketing, especially for established jewelers, you're already there. You work for 20 years. You already have these thousands of emails. It's very obvious that you don't start a new business, but utilize your existing information, your existing client base. And this is the closest money, especially now when things are closed, when you don't have the ability to reach the new people, work with existing clients. We see that this is why the email marketing in Valigara is so popular, this model, because we never see unsuccessful campaigns. The people that you already know them, they are the easiest one to get. So if you just need now to support your business when it's more difficult to be open to the wide public, this is where your email marketing is so crucial. This is why when you sit alone in your room, you take all the records that you collected in the last 10 years, and you can use it to establish your email marketing and just help your business go through this times. So the disadvantages here, again, it's time consuming, and most important, it doesn't work without some point of sale. The engagement is just a glue. It's a glue between you and your clients, but you need to establish some point of sale, point of presence where you can actually make a sale. Now, so the next step, this is why it comes together with our own, normally it's our own branded website. This is where we want our clients to return. This is where we want them to have. This is where we can create the most right experience for them to buy. Because as I gave an example, personalized jewelry, selling personalized jewelry, or one-of-a-kind jewelry, or selling loose diamonds, or selling engagement rings. It's absolutely different workflows. It's absolutely different ways how people buy online, because, well, obvious, it's different products. So at the end, we do want to be on this side, on our website. From our experience, what we always recommend, if this is your first website, do not invest too much into this website. Just get it done, get it online, because after the first half year, you will understand much better what you needed. So this first experience of getting some simple website done, running, send it to your existing clients, send it to your friends, not to your friends, better to your clients, because they do buy from you. People often come to me and say, Igor, you are the super duper expert. What do you think about my website? I say, guys, don't ask me. I'm not going to buy your jewelry. So send it to 100 of your existing clients and ask them if this website is good for them. So this is about this website that you get as quick as possible. So the moment you have it, you have your branding. It's your kingdom. There is no competition. This is where you convert your clients best, and you have a lot of tools how to work, and it's your asset. This is your, so the first, this is why we say always it's 2 years, it's 2 seasons. On the first season, you do the farming, you do the preparation, you establish your assets. So your website obviously is your most important asset. And on the downside, it's huge budgets because you need to invest into the promotions and into the technology. And it's and obviously there are millions of jewelry websites. It's very high competition. So the idea here to overcome with this, launches as quick as possible and work with existing client base. Now, and it takes a lot of time, so it's important to take into account. So these are 3 steps. Now, the synergy is very clear. Once we have our website on one side and we have our marketplaces, what do? Our marketplaces bring new clients. Our websites brings trust. So when I'm going to buy on Amazon, I want to know who is this seller basically. Does he has a website? I'm going and I'm checking online. Okay, this is my brand. And also we often get a question, should I open it under my brand name? From my point of view, yes. Because then the buyer, especially in luxury jewelry, especially in designer jewelry and in more fine jewelry about $200 and up, people go online, people go to Google and they Google the name of the store and they find it. And also maybe they will purchase, basically they will not make the first purchase on my website. Why? Because they don't know me. So they take eBay, Amazon, Etsy as a protection, as this middleman who protects them. So the first purchase will be done maybe still on the marketplace, but then I want to pull them into my website. So the new blood comes into my website. On the other side, my website provides some trust and increases the value when they know who the seller is. And of course, we collect everything under our email marketing and social marketing. And then the last part, community into sales. This is where we, on the long run, we use our community to create sales. So this is this 3-step image that we always ask people to remember. This is the switch from the short-term into the long-term e-commerce, complete e-commerce. Now, next, what do we need to go online? This is what we're being always asked. 4 main things: logistic, customer service, technology, and budgeting. Now, of course, we need the right product line. I have beautiful examples of people going online and then why don't we sell? And then we found out that the average bracelet is 40 grams gold. So you have to adjust your product line to e-commerce, which is easy, quite easy to do because you see all the competitors. So on the logistic point of view, it's shipping and handling, it's returns in fulfillment. So depending on what your products are, the logistic will be easier or more complex. So for the fashion jewelry, logistics is number 1. It's a game of logistics because if the product costs, let's say, $50, then and the shipping is another 20, then as you get stronger with logistics, your offer becomes more and more powerful. Very important thing that we see seller jewelers often forget is the returns. Returns is number 1 parameter of why people don't buy. If you don't have clear returns policy and people don't know, the buyers don't know how to return. So the fulfillment, the FBA or any other fulfillment, as you go stronger, especially in fashion jewelry, in fine jewelry, doesn't exist. It means that you will use external warehouses who are more professional on this. On the customer service response time, there is beautiful statistics saying that that your potential buyer, after sending you a message, is most engaged during the first 25 minutes after the message. So after the message, his engagement goes down about 70%. It's amazing. This is our amazing numbers. So the moment that you can shorten the response time from, let's say, 40 minutes to 20 minutes, you have quadrupled your sales. It's amazing. So the time zones, consider the time zones. It's not easy to work with multiple time zones, and it's something to think about. So when people say we want to conquer the whole world, we say Slowly, slowly, start with your city, start with your area, start with your country, and only then expand into time zones. Now, the interesting thing, customer service, from what we saw, our recommendation is, from what we see, and we see a lot of jewelry companies, at least half part-time. So you need somebody to be dedicated and not just, okay, I have somebody and maybe one day he will answer the message that comes from eBay. It doesn't work like this. All the marketplaces and any normal person, if he doesn't get an answer through one day, he's not engaged. Now, on the technology. Technology, obviously, this is where Valigara comes in. As you go into e-commerce, you have to be very responsive. You have to get as much as possible automation, simply because if I have a product line of 500 products and I need to update my prices because the gold prices went up, last thing I want to do is to update them one by one, simply because I want to recalculate it by 5%. It's waste of time, and the mistakes are very costly online. So you don't want to have these mistakes because you didn't update the product and you didn't use your information correctly. Now, generally, when we speak about e-commerce, what's the big difference? We don't sell products online, and this is something that is the probably number one phrase here. We do not sell products online. What we sell online is the information about products. So this concept is very important, because your offer is not only about your products, it's how good is the information about your products. And this is conceptually very important. So why do we actually use the technology? We speak about data reusage, meaning if I have my product, my product information being posted to Amazon, I want to be able to very quickly reuse it for Google, reuse it for Amazon, reuse it for Facebook, reuse it for Instagram, because we don't speak about products online. Products is exactly, as you can see, 20% of my e-commerce. So we often see jewelers come to us and say, I have the best jewelry in the world. We do believe that they really are, but this is only 20% of the success. So then the technology allows you to scale. And when we speak about budgeting, obviously, we need some budget to be set for the setup, for the monthly expenses, like promotions, and then the services that we acquire. The services are very different. It can be the photography, the post-processing, the marketing, and then the website creation, and so on. So obviously on the product line, we have to have it very diverse. Why? Because even if I'm a jeweler working for 20 years in my store, I know precisely what works well in my store. It doesn't mean that the same product will be perfect for e-commerce, because how it looks in 2D on the screen, because of maybe of the logistic, because maybe of some additional parameters which I don't know. So I have to be ready to be very diverse. And of course, on the products, as we say, it's not about products, it's about the specifications, about measuring, about the photography, about making this pack shots, which don't have to be perfect. By the way, all the leading, and we work with top eBay sellers. They have sellers in top 10 on eBay, top on Amazon and on Etsy. Everybody has the in-house photography. If I can just make one recommendation, which will save a lot of time to our jewelers today, please do yourself a favor and establish the in-house photography, even if it's we have here one we have purchased now on eBay, one photo box which cost $150, and that's it. And it is good enough to make this pack shots. Now, e-commerce pack shots are not the beautiful pack shots which not the beautiful photography which costs you $200 each photography. No, it's just making this information available for the person. Now, if we think about it for a second, when I buy online, I need to create, because jewelry is a wearable product, I need to create this 3D model, how it will look on my body, on my neck, on my finger. So for this, to create this 3D model of the jewelry in my head, I need 3 images. So if I don't have the 3 images, I will not be able to sell it online. Very simple. So this is about this main components of going online. And then most interesting thing, as I say, there is no one e-commerce for everyone. So depending on who I am, I will go differently online. So first, product match. So US is 14K gold, while UK is 18K gold. So I have to understand where I am relevant and where I am not relevant. So the price range, eBay, Etsy work beautifully with $5,000 items, $4,000. Why Amazon? I wrote here $1,500, but basically below $800. So you have to profile yourself according to your products, according to your price range. And for example, loose diamonds and gemstones. If I'm on B2B or I'm on B2C, I will go to Rocknet IDEX for B2B, or I will go into B2C on eBay or Etsy. So this is most crucial thing. I have to profile my business by relevancy. I have to profile my business by scalability. If I'm by scale, if I'm a huge brand, I have to be on global markets. If I am a one-man show, a niche market can be good for me. Now, because if I have a huge product line, I'm ready to go to global markets. But if I have 20 items in my store, I have nothing to do on eBay or Amazon. I have to go to Etsy. I have to go to Bonanza and so on. So as much as more, let's say, unique or design-oriented or specific your jewelry is, you will go to niche markets. And as much as more casual or accidental the purchases are, or maybe people that buy a T-shirt as a gift for the son for the Christmas, and they will buy in the same place the ring for the wife. If this is your niche, then you will go to global marketplaces where buyers are less engaged. If your jewelry is very specific, very unique, then you will go into niche markets. Next, logistics. If I'm not good with my logistics, more or less, I will simplify it. I have nothing to do on global markets because they are into mainstream. They are into next, bought, sold fees. The niche markets, this is where your buyers are more engaged. And we see, for example, on Etsy, 4 weeks delivery time. Amazing. Why? Because a lot of jewelry is custom made. On eBay or on Amazon, 80% of Amazon sales is made from FBA, from the Amazon warehouses. So it's a different story. If you don't have the 5 days delivery on eBay, you will not appear in their algorithms almost. So as much as you're stronger with logistics, you'll go to global markets and niche markets if you need, if it's a challenge for you to provide good handling time and fulfillment and returns. So from the returns point of view, if you want to go global, you have to provide perfect returns policy. While if I'm a very specific jeweler, I can allow myself this privilege of having maybe not the best return policy and maybe having longer handling time and so on. So at the end, what we see is that that will finish somewhere with a partial fulfillment, meaning some of the items, the best-selling items, will be fulfilled quickly. You will have semi-mount items, for example, without the center stone ready so that you can prepare the jewelry in 1 day. And more rare items, unique items, okay, you will allow yourself longer handling times. Now, localization, and this is interesting. Corona did a lot of good for local stores. Because of the challenges that we have now with international shipping, we see that people, and also traveling, going to international shows, then this localization became again very, very strong. So it's a known, I think, the home bias that people prefer to buy near their house. Okay, so in different categories, it's about 20 to 40% of purchases. So, so you can use it for your own, finding your own local marketplaces. And today it's much stronger, and also establishing, it's nothing bad in establishing simple Facebook group, even not Facebook page, not even the store, and saying, hi, I am the only jeweler in this and that city, and helping and actually speaking to the people in your city. So this localization is much stronger than it was before the COVID. And it's something that can be used much better than 2 years ago. So obviously here on the localization, we have languages, physical presence, utilize it. It's very, very important. Entry points, depending on who you are, if you're online, the first step would be just get something done. You know, I live here with a paper on my desk. Done is better than perfect. Just do something. Do the first step. And this is the offline. B2B, try to switch from B2B to B2C. Now, lovely necklace, by the way, somebody writes, okay, it's a long story. So eBay, switch. Now, the interesting thing, if you're looking for the B2B and your eBay provides the best results in switching, in combining retail and wholesale. If you're now on one channel, for example, if you have a website, add the marketplace or add the social presence. And if you're on multiple channels, then try to create the synergy between the channels. For example, combine the Facebook page with pointing people to your website and backwards. Extend to cross-channel marketing. And these entry points, it's very important. I'm trying to, to cover the main points here. I will gladly share this presentation after that, but you have to think at your current situation and profile yourself and understand what is your goal. So e-commerce, it's not about, okay, I am on my website. We have a lot of people having only eBay, only Etsy, only Facebook page. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Just look where you are and make one move into the next step. So here are some scenarios, and it's endless. Now, your websites, many people ask, the leaders are Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento. If you have no idea what it is, then go for Shopify. It's from the easiest to more complex. The idea is very simple. Do not search for technology. Search for the provider. We see so many cases when with the most beautiful technologies, people fail. Because it's not about, is Shopify better than WooCommerce? Is WooCommerce better than Magento? Is Valigara-based website better than Shopify? Nothing, no, it's not about the technology. You as a jeweler have to search for the provider. If you find a good provider, a good developer or a company, go for it. It's because the technology is secondary. The technology serves not you, but your provider to create a website for you. So start with your team. As much more technological you are, you can go into more extensive development. And not obvious, do not look for the technology. Okay, and it's not forever, by the way. Every 3 years, 3 to 5 years, it's okay to exchange the technology. So it's not a wedding, it's not forever. And the number one rule, just make it happen. Because after having your website for half a year, you will know what to do much better. You will create a new one. Now, if you get your budget, do not spend all the budget on the website. Because after half a year, you will redo everything. So you will need a budget again, and you need the marketing. And our recommendation is just run something and redo everything after 6 months. Not everything, but improve after 6 months. So keep some budget for this too. No quick wins here. And of course, you will need the technology. This is where I have to speak about Valigara as the CEO of the company. You need the right technology, a supportive technology. What Valigara, for example, does, it's jewelry-specific technology. It's all inclusive, meaning covering from the inventory point of view and then into product information management, orders, clients, multiple channels, and very important statistics. And it has to be updated. So look for the right technology for you. Excels are somewhere in the past for a long time because you have to react quickly. So we very much recommend to combine B2B and B2C for jewelers. And it's very important for you to think that you will have to, do not look for the technology. We invest a lot of our efforts, not in the technology, but into support. So you have to look for the right support because again, it's not just the technology, it's also the team that stands behind this technology. And this is the part where I also have to start speaking. Yes, we are glad to have you here. And again, it's not trivial, and I appreciate you being here, especially with the situation that I know that happens now in Canada. So reach out to us and to our wonderful hosts here from
So Igor,
JCA.
why don't I take that back from you, Igor?
Sure, of
So
course.
that's another benefit that we have added to our CJA members. What we encourage everyone online who's interested to learn more is to reach the office. Okay, so either by email or just contact us. You know how to do that. You've registered with us today. And the beauty is that Igor can speak to the costs of the tool, but CJA members get $1,000 US funds. Since we're in Canada, we need to specify off. And Igor, do you want to talk more about the other perks that come with it? But CJA members only benefit from this discount. So usually our webinars are attended by members and non-members. So that's another valued membership benefit that we added. So Igor, I know that there's the cost of the tool is quite different, right? Depending on what the jurors choose. So do you want to touch into that? The discount is significant, but do you want to?
Sure. So yes, I can quickly touch it. We're here not in a sales session, but generally we're the technology, the what's called business level technology. Valigara is a business level technology which basically supports the whole business going online. So it starts with inventory management and then into product information management, which is not the same. But a lot of optimization, how you take your products into eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Shopify, whatever it is, and then distribute it to Google and so on. This is what Valigara does. And then the cost starts with a $200 a month, US dollar a month, and goes up depending on how many channels are connected and how big is the product catalog. So here it's a foundation. What we saw, especially in 2020, as we are used to work with the top eBay, Etsy, Amazon sellers. You know, we have the #1 worldwide in the colored diamond sellers. So what we saw in 2020 that a lot of sellers take it as a foundation of the jewelry business. So it allows us to start low also with the subscription fees. Starts with $200 and then goes up as you grow. So here on this, we also are glad to announce another addition to this offer that we decided with our nice hosts to introduce, which is a 15% discount for the first 3 months for the JCA members. And hopefully it allows you these days to establish your online presence more effectively. By the way, what we saw about even more than this, about 7 months ago, especially this time when the normal work, day-to-day work, open the shop, start working with clients is low. This is a very unique opportunity when you can plan. And we saw many retail people starting the e-commerce, especially when it's low on the daily operation. It's a unique opportunity. I understand that it feels strange now, maybe maybe even depressing what happens outside, but we saw very, very good beginnings, because once you go back to daily operation, it's again running, running and running, and there is no time to plan and no time to make this establish this foundation. So this is where we are, and I just want to thank probably it's not me in the image, it's one of our workers.
Thank you very much for this, Igor. One question that came through already was in regards to the photography that you talked about, and we all know how important it is, the quality of a good image. Can you shoot images with your mobile phone? Is that good enough? I mean, depending on the phone, but is that recommended?
Understood. So there is no right and wrong. From what we see, most of the established sellers shoot the images by themselves in-house. Now there is a lot of different service providers who do the post-processing. So you can shoot with your cell phone, having two, three lamps simply pointed, a lot of light, having this a lot of light, and creating 5 to 10 different angles of the jewelry. And then simply selecting the 5 most successful and sending them for post-processing. Now, this post-processing, it's important to know, it costs less than $1. So you can use huge marketplaces like Upwork or Fiverr, where there are many providers who will simply use their knowledge in Photoshop, and you will send them 100 of images, and you will pay $0.50, maybe $2 per image, and they will basically retouch it, post-process it. So again, I think in this case, done is better than perfect. And the idea is that, well, it depends on your budget. If you can take a photographer and set him in-house and purchase a beautiful photo box, we have also corporations with different photography services, and this photo box will cost you $10,000. It's better, but done is better than perfect. So making these photoshops, now it's important. When you go e-commerce, you have to establish in-house photography, because photography is a part of sales process. Especially in fine jewelry, people often ask, I would like to see it on the body. Or if I have an image of the beautiful central diamond ring with a central stone, which is amethyst, and then the person asks, could you send it with a ruby? Could you create it with a ruby? And you say yes. And then the question is, could you show it to me? So before you send it, you will have to photograph it maybe on your finger. And this means you do have to be able to make a photography in-house. You cannot every time send it to somebody.
Thank you, Igor. Appreciate the clarity on that. There's a couple of questions that came through, and I know we're getting close to time. Is it true that all product photography must be gorgeous and a bad shot can ruin a sale? That's a very good question.
So
does it have to be gorgeous?
It has to be done first. So again, it has to be. The question, if it stops you from starting doing something, then it's not worth it. You can find out a lot of obstacles why not to do anything, but the idea is that you have to first, plan, perform, perfect, and not just stuck on get perfected.
Right. Another one, Igor, another question. What's your thinking on reselling versus offering original design that is self-manufactured? Is one easier than the other, considering you have exclusive product?
Understood. So again, okay, and here if we go back, depends on, so your product is just a part of your offer. If you can use the successful design, having 10,000 feedbacks on, let's say, on Amazon, and then recreate it and compete from the logistic, from the service point of view, and also have the budget to really go into the go into this competition with the original seller, it's nothing bad, because there is a lot of classical designs. These classical designs are, you know, like a four-pronged solitaire. Four-pronged solitaire rings exist for the last hundreds of years, and there are these minor, let's say, differences between them. So the idea is that the design is not the only thing that you are selling. It's about your logistic, it's about your service. So if you're good in that, absolutely you can use. We have, as we work with leaders, we see, we often hear them, oh, my design got copied. It's absolutely normal. And we see that their competitors, they copy the designs and they are successful. Now, on the other side, if you, on the successful selling, we see people refresh, we see sellers refresh their product line, several models every quarter. So this is also important. So you have to be able to work with a modelist, and it's not difficult to find modelists. There are countries of modelists, as we know, in this world. So you have to be able to introduce new models quarterly.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for this, Igor, and we appreciate all the knowledge that you've shared with us today. We will be sharing the recording with anyone who attended today and with all CJA members who belong to our family. And Igor, we hope to hear from members and get questions, and I'll be more than happy to funnel them back to you. And a thank you to all of you in attendance today who shared your valuable time with us. We appreciate it. Everyone, please stay healthy and well and safe. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Igor.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.